Hi everyone, Tom from Qigong of Tulsa. Welcome back. We really want to thank all of you that responded favorably to our How to Detox Your Liver video that we posted a few months ago, and decided we would probably do a little extended version based on the questions and responses that you've given us. This video is going to be, initially it's going to be a little bit of theory thrown at you, but it's also going to help you understand what is involved, what affects your liver, and the ramifications of it. But I think one of the more important things is based upon what we tell you, you'll be able to identify, not verify, but, identify things that are happening to you physically that may relate to, in fact, having a liver, problems. So, everyone, I want to say something before we continue. You'll probably notice that I'm looking over to would be your right and my left, and that's because I have a list of notes there. And I want to make absolutely sure that I get these points said, because they're very important points. And it's just, to me, sure, looking over the side may not be all that good to do, but I want to make absolutely sure that you get all the information that I've written down on those notes. So please excuse the little distraction. Before we begin, I want to make sure that I say something that is so important in Qigong, and that is something that my teacher, Dr. Yang Ming, mentioned more than once, and it becomes also a part of a lot of the things that I advise people to do. But the one important thing is we as individuals must understand that wherever our mind goes, our bioelectricity or Qi goes as well. If we concentrate on the palms of our hands, that's where we're sending our bioelectricity at whatever time we need it. So it's very important to know that where your mind goes, Qi goes. Now, does that translate into internal parts of your body? Most absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt. And this is where the talk about self-healing comes. You focus on an area of your body, and that's where you're sending your healing Qi, your healing thoughts, and so forth. And that's because you're directing it with your mind. So understand, a healthy mind is going to create a healthy body. A mind that's not healthy, a mind that doesn't feel good, has bad thoughts, and you name it, and it's probably there. But when that's the case, you interfere with the flow of bioelectricity or Qi in your body. So keep that in mind as we go forward. And for the discussion part of this video, we're not going to include the effect that the vessels have, but we're just going to concentrate on the gallbladder meridian, which is the paired meridian to the liver, and the liver meridians. Now, the liver's main function is to spread and regulate the Qi throughout your entire body. That's the main number one thing. However, there are other things that happen. It also looks at the dampness in your body, and stores the blood. One of the most important parts for women is the fact that it stores blood while we rest. Now, at this case, of course, it works both men and women. However, from a woman's perspective, and because it's located in the abdominal area, it has a lot to do with what happens during the menstrual cycle that a woman has to, go through every month. And because of the location of the liver in pretty much the abdominal area, then it controls a lot of. It's a critical organ, and it results in, for instance, irregular menstrual cycles, swollen and painful breasts, and things of that nature when it's not treated. So from the male perspective, it'll have an effect on the prostate area as well. So keep in mind that the location of the organ has a lot to do with what goes on around it. When you're suffering from liver issues, here are some of the things that you might be experiencing, and that's restlessness. You'll be ill-tempered, angry, quick to respond, quick to react. You'll have headaches. Vertigo is an issue. And weakness in the lower joints, your knees, your hips, your ankles. There'll be weaknesses in that area. From a long-term perspective, any damage or issues with your liver are going to create or cause what is referred to as a disharmony, and that disharmony is going to affect the stomach and the spleen. As I mentioned before, the liver and the gallbladder are the paired, the liver being the yin organ and the gallbladder being the yang organ. So any illness to one or the other is, as a result, going to affect one or the other, depending on where it begins. And, according to what we call in medical Qigong the destructive cycle, when the liver is affected, immediately it has an effect on the spleen. And when the spleen is affected, it carries all the way over to the kidneys. So on the long-term aspect of this, it's real important, that we understand that when one thing goes wrong, it starts affecting other things as well in our circuit, if you will, in our bodies. So I can't tell anyone in just mere words how important it is that we look at the liver and take a real serious look at it and just pay attention to it, because the ramifications are really could be catastrophic to your life. Now, here are some points or things that are also included in the 5 phases table or 5 elements table. For instance, once the liver is ill or affected, it immediately goes, and we'll say it attacks the spleen. And then, as I mentioned, it also attacks the kidneys. The kidneys are an organ that those of us in Qigong theory or Qigong practice, rather, are really very concerned about. In our treatments, it's a basic rule, at least at this clinic. It's a rule that we always will treat the kidneys along with anything else that we're treating, because the kidneys is our essence. That's where everything about us is coming from and is, shall we say, located. Now, going back to the chart, the 5-element chart, here are some things that it mentions. For instance, a good, healthy liver will manifest itself behaviorally as in love, as in kindness, whereas the opposite of that is an unhealthy liver will manifest itself in anger and in rage. You'll yell and things like that out of anger. Then the other thing is that a continuous illness will eventually end up attacking our nervous system and our tendons. So, you know, the outward expression most generally, as I mentioned up before there, in the anger and the rage, but the outward expression when somebody's got liver issues is screaming and yelling. And the interesting part about that is the yelling and the screaming is also what we use to do the healing. So keep that in mind. So, you know, for a longer explanation, if you will, about the liver's response and how do we, determine what's going on with the liver. Look at a 5 elements chart. They vary some in terms of what they talk about, but for the most part, they're the same, except, you know, some are longer and some are shorter. So, now that you kind of have an idea of what we're going to deal with, our next step is going to be doing some exercises. Here we go. Okay, everyone. Now we begin the section on the exercises that you're going to do. We're not going to spend too much time on warm-ups, as we do have a warm-up video that we'll link to down below. But what I want you to do is make sure that you do warm up, and we're going to start by doing an exercise that is very simple yet super effective, and it's a cleansing exercise. And what you simply do is you stand with your feet shoulder width apart, your palms facing back when you begin. Okay, stand there, straighten up your back, tuck your buttocks in a little bit, tilt your head forward, and now inhale. Feel the chi up here on the top between your hands. You always pause 3 to 5 seconds. Exhale. Drop your tongue as you exhale. And relax. Okay? Raise your tongue to the roof of your mouth as you inhale. Pause 3 to 5 seconds. Lower your tongue, exhale, and feel the chi going out the bottom of your feet. Inhale. And send the chi through the top of your head, down through your body, and into the ground. Very simple. We've done 3. We're going to do 6. Inhaling, tongue raised, touching the roof of your mouth. Pause. Exhale, drop your tongue. Bring the chi down through your body. Inhale. Exhale. And one more. Inhale. Pause. Lower your tongue and exhale. Okay. Now pause. Enjoy the chi. Always pause between exercises. Kind of look around if you can. Just whatever. Just anything that allows you to relax. Okay. And now we're going to go to exercise number 1. So here we begin. Here are the rules. Unlock your knees. Tuck your buttocks in. Raise your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Tilt your head forward a little bit. Straighten up your back. And now you're ready to go. So here we go. Inhale. Pause. And exhale. Always start with your left arm. Bring it back. Inhale. Exhale. Push up and push down. Inhale. and exhale. And inhale again, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. And stop. Okay, do this 9 to 12 times. Keep your tongue up at all times with this exercise, and what you're doing is you're opening up the spleen and your liver area right in here. That's what you're doing. If you want to lean over, put your hands over your liver and your spleen and move sideways. You can do that as well while your arms are stretched. Not a problem. Anything you can do to enhance the exercise is perfectly fine. Now, we pause for about 15, 20, 30 seconds because we want each exercise that we do to have the effect we intend for it to have. If we immediately jump from one exercise to the next, then we don't give the exercise the time it needs, and our body, it needs to absorb what we've just done. So remember, all these exercises 9 to 12 times. Here we go with the other exercise. The other exercise, we want you to just stand like this. We call it a high horse. And you're going to inhale and exhale. Rotate your fist around like that. Okay? See my fists are up? Bring it back. And here we go. So we're going to inhale. Focus on the liver and exhale. Ha! Inhale. Ha! Inhale. Ha! Inhale. Ha! Inhale. Ha! Inhale. Ha! Inhale. Ha! 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 And pause. When you do your 9 to 12 repetitions, relax. Stand up with your feet shoulder width apart. Shake your hands. Okay, now we're going to go to another exercise. Very simple. We're on a cool down mode kind of right now. So put one hand over your liver, one hand over your spleen, and just stand there. And as you cool down, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And send all that healing chi to your spleen and your liver. If you want to just focus on one, then you put your hand over it, over the organ that you want to affect directly, and do it this way. Now when you're going to do this, make sure that men put their left hand over the body, touching your body, and the right hand above it. Women, do the opposite. Use your right hand to touch the body and the other one over it. And you can do this for as long as you want to stand there, and we call that kind of a cool down meditation. All right, now for closing, raise your heels up, drop down. Raise them up, drop down. And what you want to do is you're shaking all of the potential stagnant chi that's in your joints and getting rid of them. And just raise up, and you can feel the vibration go up your spine. And that helps your piezoelectric function of your bones to strengthen as well. All right. And that pretty much takes care of the exercises for the liver. I hope you enjoyed our session, exercises anyway. Now we got one last thing to do, and that is we're going to work our way down our legs, trying to make sure we remove the qi from the liver and the gallbladder meridian. Go ahead and do this. You can do it this way, you can do it this way, doesn't matter. Focus on your leg, focus on the area that you're touching, and remove the qi. And that's it. Hope you enjoy it. And I think you will. Once you start doing this, you're going to feel a lot better. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.